not even going to sugarcoat this one. This one hurt. That was an absolutely gut-wrenching way to finish our season, if you will. We just watched our team get swept by the Chargers, officially fall out of playoff contention for the first time in 10 years, an entire decade, and probably have lost Patrick Mahomes to this season ending knee injury. So I haven't stayed up to date as of this morning on what the fallout is, but we do know as of last night that it was a torn ACL that he suffered in the fourth quarter. So this wasn't just a loss. It definitely felt like an end of a chapter, an end of the era, an end of an era. And I think that's why emotions are running pretty high right now for a lot of people. Good thing for me is that I've been around long enough to have suffered through some of these years, many years, where we didn't have Patrick Mahomes under center. We had seasons where we went 2-12. So I've been there. I get it if you are feeling that right now. So let's take a breath and let's talk about what happened, what mattered, and why this season, as painful as it's been, it doesn't even erase what this era of Chiefs football is and has been. So final score aside, y'all, 16-13, the Chargers won. As we know, this was a tight, ugly, emotional AFC West battle, and it's exactly what Chargers games always are. We finished the season series 0-2 against the Chargers. We opened the season with them, as we all remember, in Mexico, or no, in Brazil. And of course, as we remember, that was the game where, strangely enough, Xavier Worthy was taken out in the first couple of plays, and we didn't see him for a couple of weeks there. So 0-2 against the Chargers this season, and that alone tells you how narrow the margins have been all year long. So in this game itself, the turnovers, the time of possession, the penalties, all of this aside, y'all, again, the story wasn't about the effort. It was about the execution. Maybe some people will say it was about the effort, but it definitely was about the execution or lack thereof. Now, there was some good in this, as much as you don't want to think about it, but there's the good, the bad, and the ugly with everything. So let's talk about that because there was some good football that was played. The defense showed up again. Right? And this game was kept within reach. We forced tough throws, gave the offense chances, especially really early. The pass rush pressure, the red zone stands, forcing field goals instead of touchdowns for the Chargers. I felt like our defense did show up. They carried this team through stretches of this season, and this game was no different. Mahomes fought every chance that he could. Before the injury, he was fighting for us, and when he went down, he needed somebody to fight for him. And he extended plays for us during this game up until his injury. He took hits. He tried to will this team forward like he's done so many times before, and that will always matter. Now, the bad, and this is where the frustration lives, right? Missed opportunities, misreads, mistiming, drives stalled, not because of talent, but because of details. So we had drops and failed third downs, we had protection breakdowns, we had red zone inefficiencies. There was a lot here that was bad. This offense hasn't been able to play clean football consistently all season, and it finally caught up to us. Now, the ugly. There's no way around this, y'all. Patrick Mahomes' injury definitely tops the list for ugly here. If, yeah. So he goes down with a knee injury, and it's, as we know, a torn ACL. So that is season ending. It's potentially franchise altering in the short term because we have to have a different plan. And I don't know. I kind of liked Gardner Minshew when he was in college, but I'm going to say that unless we commit to just handing the ball off and running the ball, maybe we shouldn't throw, even though he's aired out some balls throughout his college career. Now, you never want to see an injury such as what Patrick Mahomes went down with. You never want to see that happen to anyone, let alone the player who is this era of Chiefs football and who has been the face of the NFL for so many years now. The stadium was quiet, the air left the room, and y'all suddenly this wasn't just about a loss anymore. It's about the future as well. So this loss officially eliminates Kansas City from playoff contention, in case y'all were wondering. And this is the first time in 10 years that this franchise will miss the postseason. 10 years. 10 years. Where were y'all 10 years ago? I don't. Where was I? 2015. Oh my gosh. 10 years ago. So, big picture about this is that dynasties have down years, y'all. This is where I want to talk directly to those of y'all who are Chiefs Kingdom, especially with all the noise, the hate, and the overreactions that are flying around right now. Every dynasty has down years, every single one. For example, the Patriots, they missed playoffs with Tom Brady. Packers did also with Aaron Rodgers, and the Colts with Peyton Manning, okay, those late era struggles existed as well. What we've experienced with Patrick Mahomes under center is not normal. We've had multiple Super Bowls. We have had constant AFC title games. We have dominance for nearly a decade here. And that level of sustained success spoils fan bases. And I say this lovingly because it resets expectations to something that isn't human. And I've said this before and before and again and again and again about Patrick Mahomes, where he makes us feel as though what we are watching him do should be the norm, especially when he was giving us Mahomes magic. This season hurts because of how good the standard has been. He pushed the standard way up here when we have been so accustomed to watching Chiefs football, where the standard was on the floor. Now, this loss and what it means moving forward, this offseason now becomes about healing. It becomes about healing literally and figuratively. Mahomes' recovery, the offensive line recovery, the offensive reset, roster evaluations, coaching adjustments. Matt Nagy, I'm sorry. I think that Matt Nagy's time has come and gone. And that is a decision that I really hope that gets addressed. This is a gut check moment for the entire organization, and the great organizations respond. Now, Chiefs Kingdom, I know this one hurt. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be emotional, but I don't think that we can let one brutal season erase an entire decade of greatness. Dynasties aren't defined by avoiding adversity, they're defined by how they respond to it. So I know that I'll be here for the ups and downs and everything in between. And if you are too, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, share, and let me know how you're feeling in the comments because this one definitely hit all of us in some capacity. So we'll get through this together, y'all. And I know that we will. We'll come out better because of this, but it's going to be hard for a little while longer. And you know what, though? I can plan. I get my weekends back in January and February now. That has not happened in so long. So there are some silver linings to look forward to. There's going to be a lot of the rest of the games that for this season we can watch as stress-free as it possibly can be. And maybe we'll give a chance for the youngins to come up and play some. So anyway, y'all, that's all I've got for us on this week's episode. Go Chiefs as always, and I'll talk to you.